Growing demand for AI data centers sparks debate in New Hampshire. So I guess we're debating about this, even though I don't know that the last debate was pretty clear about what people wanted. I think.
I guess people aren't getting the memo.
Yeah, I guess not.
Granite State to the Lone Star State.
We must prohibit them from building AI data centers.
Residents don't want this here.
Data center discussions are popping up across America, sparking protests, political fights, and big questions about the future of artificial intelligence. So what exactly is a data center, and why are companies racing to build them?
So I guess it's just a balance and understanding that they're not all big tech surveillance data centers.
Inside a nondescript building in Salem is dynamic.
I mean, that's one way to put it.
Internet, one of a handful of data centers already in the Granite State.
This is a small data center.
What you'll find is a room full of servers humming away, processing massive amounts of data while being kept cool by an industrial air conditioning system.
And I don't know, I'm just going to pause it right here and say, I think this is them trying to equivocate the AI data centers with this type of data center, which are two completely different things. But, you know, there's still more in the video, so let's see if that's what they're doing, or if they're going to compare it to the actual, like, data centers that people are opposed to.
Yeah, I'm curious to see where this is going, because that's like, you know, there's a distinction to be made here. Like, not all data centers are created equal.
Right.
So, yeah,
running a chat bot on a website where somebody is placing an order.
Local companies turn to owner James Degopoulos for secure space, giving them reliable internet, backup power, and protection if something goes wrong.
People have been using data centers since the internet started, right? They have their smartphones. All this is coming from data centers.
But artificial intelligence is changing the conversation. New AI models require dramatically more computing power, fueling demand for larger facilities, and raising questions about energy, water use for cooling, and where those centers belong.
People don't know what they are, what they mean. They can hear stories about data centers.
A recent University of New Hampshire survey found politics is shaping opinions on the issue.
Support for halting construction of data centers is strongest among Democrats.
The survey found that 45% of Granite Staters support a pause on new data center construction.
And we're seeing more and more of a need for this type of business to expand.
Groups like Americans for Prosperity backing data center development.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Americans for Prosperity, huh?
What,
like,
what a fucking shocker.
Like, yeah, a conservative think tank wants conservative agendas passed. You don't say. That's wild.
Jeez, like, I'm so shocked. I'm so incredibly shocked.
Yeah,
like,
but what does the Heritage Foundation think? Like, what is this? Like, what do you... All right.
Say the technology is becoming essential to everyday life, and that the Granite State should welcome the investment.
When a data center is not built here, that's an opportunity for another state or another country.
The amount of
What? That's if we don't build one right here, then that's an opportunity for another state or another country to build. I'm not sure how that tracks. Is that how that works?
I mean, like, I guess so. It's like, that's not like an entirely inaccurate thing to say, but it's also incredibly misleading.
Another
because,
country?
Like, well, yeah, like, dude, China, like, I mean, or fucking
like,
anybody
for us to use
look,
through the.
like,
I see what they're saying. I was like, hold on, like, what? Okay, I got it. I see what they're saying.
Yeah, it's just about like, oh, well, we should be the leaders. We should be the ones. Like, New Hampshire exceptionalism is by way of American exceptionalism. You know, like, it's like, dude, like, you can't you can't possibly imagine like us not being the top of the heap on like literally everything. Like, dog, like I don't care who manages my cloud storage data. Like I care about whether or not I have it. Like I don't necessarily need that to be based in my state. You know
Right.
what I mean? Like that's
As
like
well as
I just don't.
the thing that people are most upset about is the power usage and the pollution and the other effects that doing this by like as if it is a national security issue. Like that's what people are concerned about, is that these are just going up without any sort of like, permission from the towns of, or like the people in the towns that they're getting put in, and they're polluting everywhere. And that's basically the number one issue that people have with this. I feel like if there was more time to elaborate on the technology, like get it so that they don't have to do those things or use alternate like forms of cooling, stuff like that, there people wouldn't be so opposed to this. But like when there's and also the fact that a lot of these are specifically used for gathering data on like surveillance on people, and that's not a good thing. Nobody wants that. But yeah, I think if they went about it differently, that's more the issue, is like people don't want all these like auxiliary effects that they're having, like but they're
Let me ask
making
you a
it.
question, Kyle. Have you considered though that we need to be selling our souls and our futures and our lands and our livelihood and our health for like the benefit of the free market?
Oh, you're right.
That's because that's clearly the most important thing, right? Come on, you just
Right.
you gotta
Yep,
we gotta
forgot.
lock in, dude. This is what you gotta. It's just the way of things, right? It's just
Yeah.
because it's always been there. So we just it's we lowly little humans were just lucky enough to discover the pre-existing condition of capitalism.
Right. Yes. The free
It's
market has
described by
always
the
been there.
Austrian school of economics.
Yeah. We dug it up.
Thank you,
Like,
F.A. Hayek and fucking Ludwig von Mises and Murray Rothbard for just enlightening us about the values of the thing, the free market, aka just like gravity.
yeah, it was discovered like gravity. Yeah. It was a scientific discovery, and it's just a fact of life that free market capitalism just has to happen, or else, I guess.
Yeah, capitalism, magnets, same thing. Who
Yeah,
cares? You know
for
what I
sure.
mean? Like,
Like, let's see if they have any opposing views on this, except that isn't paid for by like
yeah,
a
no,
a foundation of any kind. Like
I am super curious to see the rest of this segment, which, like, look, I have been building shit all week, so I am not on pre-watch game. I did not see this, but I'm very curious to see how they continue to try to report this, and the key word there being try.
right.
Water is 6 to 7 times more than a regular business.
State Senator Deborah Altshuler pushed for legislation last session she says would have helped communities prepare for large AI data centers by addressing concerns over water use, power demands, and local infrastructure.
The impact that these type of businesses have on local communities, it far exceeds impact that any other business we have ever done here in New Hampshire.
You want to maintain a good temperature. Obviously, the machines like it. They can handle a little bit of heat.
And while the debate over the next generation of AI data centers is just beginning, DeGoppolo says one thing is certain: data centers themselves aren't going away. In Salem, Mike Moses, WMUR News 9.
I mean,
No, they didn't describe any fucking nuance there at all to save
No.
their own goddamn lives. They could not possibly do it.
I
This
mean,
is
they had
why-
like 15 seconds of this lady kind of slightly like going into very short detail about the stuff I was talking about, but like not really.
Run back over the Deborah Altshuler part.
The amount of water is 6 to 7 times more than a regular business.
State Senator Deborah Altshuler pushed
Gotcha, okay.
for legislation
Pause button.
last.
So I think the problem here is that, like, see, this is how you generate an argument, right? Like or a debate, like around something that basically obfuscates it and then makes it so that it just kind of turns into this muddy mess is when you use a term like data center, it's
Mm.
describing a whole bunch of different things, right? You're describing like like a cloud storage data center is not the same thing as like an LLM platform data center, right? Because
Right.
the hardware that's contained in those data centers are two very different things, right? You can have like, it's to that guy's point, the guy that he's like, oh yeah, data centers, everybody's complaining about data centers. It's like, yeah, well, dude, you're running a storage data center.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that
Right.
data center is like it's a room full of servers, and
Yeah.
like you're creating storage for people. That does not run especially hot, especially if it's flash memory. In which case, like flash storage, that's like there's no more spinning disk in it, right? Like the old hard drives, right? Like the old like they would you plug them and you could feel them. You could feel the vibration because there's literally a disk spinning inside of it. Excuse me. So it had moving parts. The whole thing with flash storage was that there's no more moving parts. It's just there,
Yeah.
right? Like that storage just exists for you. So, no, obviously, like you put power through circuits, it's going to generate some like energy, and that can create temperature. But these storage-based data centers, you can absolutely cool them with AC, and it's fine, right? Like you just standard air conditioning is totally acceptable, passable, works. The data centers that you need for AI, and I don't even like saying AI because I don't even know that it's necessarily like I think that alone is misleading, right?
Right.
Like they're
that also
large language
encompasses
models.
a million different things.
Right. Right. It implies a certain degree of intelligence, and it's not exactly intelligent. It's just like doing a lot of calculations. You know what I mean? Like it's doing calculations based off of what it already has. So like, and it can learn within the context of like what it's fed. You know what I mean? But it's not able to like it's not analytical of itself. So that's sort of like how it's not intelligent. You know what I mean? Like it won't be analytical of its own accord. Like you can tell an LLM to be critical of itself, and then it will do that. But like it's not going to just inherently like question itself before it sends you something. What it's going to do is it's going to run through like the list of directives that its coders gave it. That's like, is this protecting the user? Is it protecting the bottom line of the corporation that is like creates the platform for it? Like, is it protecting like the shareholders of that corporation, so on and so, like protecting brand identity, all those things. So that's like what its like moral subset is, and those are just hard coded into the LLM itself. So like it always like any like it just runs through like a logic tree. You know what I mean? Like it's like just if this then this type of thing. Like it's just it's very that part of it is sort of like basic coding. So it's like, and you'll hear people talk about tokens, right? And like tokens are like a whole thing about it, and that's like what is sort of drives a lot of the valuation of things, right? But basically, yeah, in order to run LLMs, you need GPUs, which are, and any gamer out there knows what I'm talking about when I say a GPU. Like that's your graphics processing unit. That's like what you need to like play a really gnarly video game. You know what I mean? Like you need like a pimp GPU if you're gonna play like the latest Call of Duty game or whatever. You know what I mean? Like if you want it to look like it's fucking real. That's and that's like when your computer is like working overtime and you hear it like woo, like that's your GPU. That's the part that's sucking all the power. Like if you have a crazy GPU in a laptop, then you usually need like a massive fucking power brick. Like the actual power, like the brick part of your power cable that connects to your wall. That's huge, because it has to supply enough power in order to actually like make the GPU work. Those get wicked fucking hot, and simply cooling by air when you have a warehouse full of them is not sufficient. So you need to cool with something else. And that's why they consume water, right? And that water does get like incredibly polluted in the process. So this is how this works, right? So when they keep saying, I don't know how many times they said the term data center in that particular bit, but what they should be really doing is like creating a distinction between them, right? Because they're trying to allude to there being a distinction
Right.
in that piece, but they're not
But not
just
telling you
coming
what they
right
are.
out and making the distinction for the so like from my perspective, that's like incredibly irresponsible reporting.
I mean,
Like,
they did get into it slightly, but it was for less than 10 seconds, I think.
I mean, but they didn't. I mean, like they didn't necessarily like they got into it, but it's just like all they're doing is presenting one side or another in
Right.
terms of like,
But not
is
being
this
like,
good
this
for
is what the
people's
facts
money?
are.
Is this bad for people's water? Like whatever, and they're not like actually taking a moment to inform the public, like, okay, here are the different kinds of data centers that exist.
Right.
These are the data centers that people are upset with. These are the data centers that nobody really gives a shit about at all. Like, I don't think
Exactly.
you'd find a Democrat. I don't think you'd find a single fucking socialist. It's like, oh yeah, we shouldn't have cloud storage data centers.
Yeah.
Like, no, those we need those. Like everybody uses those. We all utilize them. Like I don't like that's a utility.
Like, yeah, that's
Right?
just
Like, that's the
not
thing
what we're
that's
talking
helping
about. That's
right.
not what the debate is for.
Coming down on that.
But they're
Yeah,
acting like
exactly.
it is.
And,
Like this, like, see,
yeah,
this is
no,
a
like,
data center right here, you guys, and no need to be afraid. We've had these for years. Like, what do you mean? And it's like, well, no, that's
right,
not the
like,
case.
I know that, like, for example, Sinahan, who's on TikTok, she's great. She works in tech, and she made like a whole like video about this at one point where she was like, look, like I work in tech, let me like explain to you that like I am anti this kind of data center. This other kind of data center is incredibly necessary. Like,
Yeah.
you know, like it's like they've been around for decades. Like we use them all the time. Like it's very normal, it's very standard. And it's like it wasn't until these like, you know, OpenAI and Anthropic and, you know, XAI, until they came along and were like, oh, we need to build these different kinds of data centers that are incredibly energy consuming and like incredibly resource heavy in terms of consumption. And like that's when it started to become a problem, to a point now where they're like, oh yeah, well, we're gonna, like, you know, the grid is fucked and it can't support all this stuff, so like what we're gonna do is we're gonna do rolling blackouts. And it's like, dude, we tried to have this conversation with you guys when everybody was like, oh, we should electrify the grid for all of the vehicles, right? And
Yeah.
like I would encourage people to go check out the interview that I did with Sam Evans Brown, because Sam is like knows a lot about this shit. He was an
Oh, yeah.
environmental reporter for 10 years at NHPR, and then he left to go work for Clean Energy NH. And he and I talked about this like pretty extensively. And he was like, look, like electric cars are like not really the problem. The problem is that the grid is trash.
Right.
Like it's really old. And like, you know, I think at one point the way he said it, he was like, look, like if you go and you see like a transformer on the top of a telephone pole, understand that that's probably been there since the 70s. Like that was the last time that was like real. Like it might have been repaired here and there,
Right.
but like that tech hasn't changed or been upgraded at all in the past 50 years.
Well, you know,
So,
this was one of the things that the that Build Back Better bill was supposed to address, but you know, that thing got completely
Right.
gutted to shit. And you know,
Exactly.
there was just no
Exactly.
infrastructure left, money left for that apparently.